What's up, guys? We're here at AMC Town Square with Chasing Cinema.
James Hsu.
.com, and we are here for 3 movies.
A very busy week.
Everest.
Yeah, well, which is
Black
limited
Mask.
release.
Yep.
We have Black Mask, and then we have Maze Runner: The SCORCH Trials. Which one do you want to do first?
We'll talk about the Maze Runner.
Maze Runner sequel. Last year, I remember sitting, well, maybe not last year, 2 years ago, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. I sat down and watched The Giver, another one of these YA adaptation movies, and I thought it was awful. I mean, I thought it was so boring, and I think a week or two later, I saw The Maze Runner, and I thought that movie was so much fun, totally into it. I thought Dylan O'Brien, the main character, had so much chemistry. I thought it was a very interesting story. You know, we just get kind of thrown into this world, and we have to figure everything out along with our main character. Flash forward, now we have a sequel. We know that I think there's 3 books, or maybe even more. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm excited. I really enjoyed the first film. I'm hoping this movie's good. You know, I'm hoping it stays. As we've learned with YA movies, young adult adaptations, they usually go like this. You know, Hunger Games, all of those movies have done that.
But I think you can really say that about any genre.
Well, not genre, but more or less series, of course.
Or anything.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but sometimes
action. Some are good, some are bad.
Well, yeah, you want to say about genre.
Some are good or some are bad.
But we want to talk
Western,
about series.
some are good or some are bad.
You're going to say that about movies, but when you're looking at a trilogy, you know, and like the dip is way bigger. Like the last Hunger Games movie was like such a down from Hunger Games 2. I mean, it was an insanely big drop. So I'm hoping they at least stay steady. It's okay if one's less good than another, but I'm talking about a point where you're like, I wasn't a fan at all. So I'm hoping it keeps the momentum up. It doesn't have to be as good as the first, and maybe, hopefully, it's better than the first. But as long as they keep a steady drive going, I'll be excited. What about you? Did you like the first Maze Runner?
Yeah, I went into the movie not really expecting anything out of it.
Yeah.
Ended up really, really enjoying that film.
Me too.
It was a lot of fun. Had a couple, you know, so I had a lot of fun, and now we're ready for part 2. I already know there's gonna be part 3.
Yeah, I know. Wes Ball, who directed the first film, was going to be directing this picture, and I just really loved how we were just thrown into the mix in the first one, and there was a lot we had to figure out, but we were discovering it as our main character was, so it wasn't all explained to us in the first 15 minutes dialogue, which is quite usual in these kind of movies. They take 15 minutes and use some subtitles and things like that to explain us where the world is right now, but I liked how this movie didn't. So I'm excited to see what's going on in the world, because we were just kind of giving clues of what's happening outside of the maze in the first movie. So I'm excited to see what we get to see outside of that.
All right, how long's the movie tonight?
2 hours and 10 minutes.
All right, let's see if we can get out of the maze.
Let's do it.
All right, so we just got out of the SCORCH Trials, the Maze Runner Part 2.
Yes.
I liked it better.
You liked it better than the part 1?
I liked it better in part 1. You know, and then our buddy Jeremy said it. I agree with it. It was part 1 was like I said earlier. I really liked part 1. And then this one brought us into the world now. So that first one we were confined in the world of the maze, obviously the Maze Runner, and this one we brought it out. And they had a lot of parts of this movie where I was just like, oh my god, run, go. Reminded me a lot of I Am Legend, which was a film I really loved. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think it set up part 3 really, really well. It has a scene at the end that just makes you mad, which is probably the point of a good movie, is to just be able to upset you or make you happy or something like that. So I really enjoyed the film a lot.
I probably am in the opposite with you. I thought the first film was a far better movie. I did not dislike this movie. I just thought it was okay. I think out of the 2-hour movie, 1 hour was really effective. The first 30 minutes when we are introduced to this new place and we are seeing these kind of procedures these people are going through, it's really interesting. And the last 30 minutes when we get really, really upset, like you said, I thought was interesting. But the hour in between, I thought was just kind of lost and empty, and was just very repetitive. I mean, we go somewhere, we run, we go somewhere, we run, we go somewhere, we run. And essentially to me it was just like we could have had a 90, maybe even 80-minute movie, but instead we wanted to just keep adding it along to it. You know, just throwing in fluff. And I had no real investment. I was really bored, actually, throughout the most of it. There was a lot of things to appreciate, though, towards the ending of the picture. They throw a little twist in there that's not, you know, something you don't see coming, but it's still like right in the gut, you know. And I appreciate it. I'm still interested in the story enough to hoping that the third one kind of brings everything together and makes it a little bit more exciting. But as we were talking about this earlier, this was a down for me, but not a super bad, and not a bad movie by any means, just okay. Not something that I would plan to watch again like I would the first Maze Runner.
Yeah, I'll definitely be watching this one again. So
yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
It made me want to go watch the first Maze Runner again. I just think that the first Maze Runner had such a specific goal. We had a point. Everything was happening at this time, and this movie just kind of felt more of like, oh, let's just follow these characters and see where we're gonna go.
Understood. ChasingCinema.com/
The Maze Runner. Oh no, Scorch Trials.
Scorch Trials.
Scorch Trials.
That's
just
it.
Scorch Trials. Yeah.
I loved it. All right, so yeah, be sure, guys, if you haven't seen our review on Black Mass,
Yes, that is
already
up.
online, and if you haven't seen our review on Everest,
that is up as well.
already online. So be sure to check all those out, guys. And anything else?
I'm trying to think if there was anything else I really wanted to talk about this movie.
The only thing I felt was useless was it alcohol? Was that what all that was?
The drug alcohol type scene.
Yeah, I just figured it was just alcohol.
It might have been just alcohol.
Kent?
Ethanol.
There was something
that's
going
all.
on there.
Yeah, that was useless. That entire 5 minutes, 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was 15.
It just felt like that. 'Cause
Yeah,
it was just like so.
It couldn't have been
unnecessary.
more. At least I don't think it was 10 minutes.
I think it has something to
I think
do
it.
with the third one.
I think it drew
Huh?
out
I think it has something to do for the third one.
something to do with the third one. I don't know. It was. Yeah, that scene was. That's an example though, just like
But
unnecessary.
for me, I think that was the only scene that I thought was stupid.
You know, I could really kind of pinpoint the fact that like I've already forgotten so much about it. Like I'm just like trying to reach for what I really remember, and I just remember that middle hour just kind of going by until we get to the end when we finally reach this. I won't say what, but this specific place, and we're meeting new people. Two of which are really really interesting, and you know that kind of sets us up. And Dylan O'Brien, who I thought was really charismatic, real interesting in the other film, is just kind of mingling here until the end, and then there's this really really great moment at the end with him and a few of the people from, and like, was it me or did you realize, like, was it like every time we looked at the group there was different people in there or people that I don't remember from before? Like I was like, oh, is that a new face? Because I really don't remember them from this person. I felt like that a lot. Like I didn't feel like I had a steady group of people that I knew. I felt like it just interchanges, and it doesn't matter as long as you know the 3 or 4 people that you are specific with. But some of the shots I remember being really, really nice. I mean, there's one really traumatic scene when a friend of theirs is hurt, and there's this really great scene when they are all lined up on this sand hill. But there's an end moment that's really, really good with him and his group of friends kind of banding together in a time of need to kind of show how they are going to stand against this. And I thought that was really interesting. But everything in the middle was kind of this.
I'm ready for part 3 though.
Let's do it.
Woo! Do you
Part
know when
3.
it comes out?
I have no idea. I know they're still
It's
talking.
not next
right
year,
now.
huh?
No, I don't believe it'll be next year. I think Maze Runner was. No, it had to be last year.
Maze Runner was last year.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know.
And I don't think these movies take much to, you know, they just
Just shoot them all.
Yeah,
Real quick.
just
I don't
make
know.
'em-
Maybe we'll see.
I hope we don't have to wait 2 years.
Let's hope. Well, this movie's got to make a lot of money first.
Yeah. All right. So check out our reviews on Black Mass and
Everest.
And if you have any comments for us on this film,
Let us know down here in the comment section.
let's
talk about
what's
it.
coming out in 7 days.
We have The Intern.
Anne Hathaway and Robert De Niro.
Yes,
I'm excited about that.
We have the wide release of Everest because Everest right now is just playing like on the bigger screens,
Jake
the
Gyllenhaal.
large premium screens. We also have possibly the Green Inferno. Right now, it seems like
That movie
here
just
in
can't
Las
come out.
Vegas is having difficulty if it'll be actually be releasing here or not. I'm not sure yet. I do know that I won't have a screening for it. So if it is, we'll be.
Is that
here.
because of what the movie's about?
No, I just think.
Or just there's not an audience for it?
It was the people that were distributing, and I think were going out of business, or they had an issue. So another studio got it, and then they ended up switching it over again. So
Okay, it has nothing to do with the movie itself.
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think it has anything to do with the content of the.
Yeah, the content is what I meant.
Yeah. No, I mean I've heard it's real crazy. I read an article that someone had already fainted in a screening. But that. I mean, we're at a point now where we've seen so much. It's really hard to get something like that graphic into a movie where it would be like for theaters to be like, we're not going to play this. Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that movie. It was supposed to come out my birthday last year,
Yeah.
and I've been waiting ever since. So I was like, oh, come on. So that's a possibility. So The Intern, that I believe Hotel Transylvania 2 is also be coming out next week. So there's a lot to choose from again.
All right, Intern for me. If we don't have Green Inferno. If we have it.
Yeah, I think The Intern will be cute.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. All right, we'll be back in
7
7
days.
days.